My friends, listen to me carefully today. One of the greatest misunderstandings in this generation is the meaning of emotional power. The world has defined emotional power as the ability to intimidate others, to manipulate others, to control others. But that is not power. That is insecurity parading as strength. That is fear masquerading as wisdom. That is the world's broken definition of authority. The greatest battle you will ever fight in your life is not with people. It is not with the economy. It is not with your enemies. The greatest battle you will ever fight is the battle for the control of your own mind. And whoever wins that battle wins your life. You see, today we live in a world obsessed with control. They say, if you can make someone jealous, you have power. If you can make someone afraid, you have power. If you can make someone chase you, you have power. But influence built on fear is not influence at all. That is tyranny. That is bondage. That is slavery disguised as brilliance. Let me tell you what the world does not want you to know. Real power has nothing to do with who fears you. Real power has everything to do with who you refuse to fear. Some people study manipulation because they are tired of being hurt. Some study emotional detachment because they don't want to feel again. Some study dark psychology because they think emotional power means shutting down, shutting off, and shutting people out. But the moment your strength depends on someone else's weakness, you are no longer strong, you are simply surviving. The kingdom of God teaches something completely different. God never gave you authority over people. He never gave you authority to manipulate minds. He never gave you authority to dominate emotions. God gave you authority over yourself. Your thoughts, your feelings, your reactions, your decisions, your destiny. This is why I always teach. The most important power on earth is self-government, the ability to rule your own spirit. Solomon said, a man without self-control is like a city without walls. In other words, you may look strong on the outside, but if you cannot govern your emotions, you are already conquered. So hear me, the problem is not that this generation wants emotional power. The problem is that they are looking for it in the wrong place. They watch videos that teach them how to manipulate instead of how to mature. They seek strategies to control others instead of revelation to control themselves. They want to become emotionally untouchable instead of spiritually unshakable. And so the world offers them a counterfeit, a dark psychology that promises power but produces bondage. It teaches them how to survive the battlefield of relationships but never how to win the battlefield of the mind. But today, we will expose the lie. We will uncover the truth, because emotional power was never meant to be used against others. It was meant to elevate you to your God-given potential. You see, real emotional strength is not proven by how many people obey you. Real emotional strength is proven by how many emotions obey you. The world teaches dominion over people. The kingdom teaches dominion over self. And until you understand the difference, you will confuse manipulation with maturity and control with character. Everything in your life, your relationships, your leadership, your decisions, your purpose will rise or fall at the level of your emotional maturity. And emotional maturity begins with mental mastery. If you lose the battle in your mind, you will lose the battle everywhere else. So as we begin this journey today, I want you to hear this foundational principle. Emotional power is not the ability to change someone else's behavior. Emotional power is the ability to change your own response. This is where true kingdom authority begins. Today, we are going to peel back the layers. We're going to contrast the illusion of dark psychology with the reality of kingdom mindset. We are going to discover why manipulation always collapses and why truth always strengthens. We are going to learn why controlling people destroys relationships, but controlling yourself transforms destiny. Because real emotional power, kingdom emotional power, does not flow from deception. It flows from identity. It flows from purpose. It flows from clarity of thought. It flows from a renewed mind. And today, we begin the journey to reclaim that mind, to restore that authority, to rediscover what God intended all along. That the greatest force on earth is a disciplined spirit, leading a renewed mind, governing obedient emotions. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the truth. Welcome to the kingdom, and welcome to a revelation that will change how you think, how you feel, and how you lead. My friends, let us go deeper, because before we can understand kingdom emotional authority, we must expose the imposter that has deceived this generation. We must confront the shadow that calls itself strength, but is nothing more than insecurity wearing a mask. Today, we must talk about dark psychology, the counterfeit version of emotional power. Now listen carefully. Dark psychology is not wisdom. It is not discernment. It is not intelligence. Dark psychology is the strategic use of emotional manipulation, mental pressure, and psychological tactics to influence or dominate others. It is the world's attempt to imitate kingdom authority without kingdom character. Dark psychology is the study of how to pull people closer through fear and push them away through silence. How to create confusion so you can gain control. How to use guilt, withdrawal, or gaslighting to bend others to your will. These are not tools of kings. These are weapons of slaves. These tactics do not reveal your strength. They expose your brokenness. And here is the tragedy. People pursue dark psychology not because they are evil, but because they are wounded. They are tired of being ignored, tired of being hurt, tired of being manipulated, tired of feeling powerless. So they embrace a method that promises protection but delivers poison. Let me give you a principle. Any power that requires deception is not power, it is dependency. Because the moment your power depends on someone else's ignorance, you are already defeated. Dark psychology only works on people who do not know who they are. It requires victims to be insecure, uninformed, or emotionally vulnerable. Meaning, if the people around you ever grow, your power disappears. That is not strength, that is fragility. In the kingdom, we do not build influence by weakening others. We build influence by strengthening ourselves. The world teaches you how to manipulate minds. The kingdom teaches you how to renew your own mind. The world teaches you how to control emotions. The kingdom teaches you how to discipline your emotions. Let me repeat it so it becomes revelation in your spirit. Any strategy that gives you control over people but steals control over yourself is a trap. You may win the argument, but you lose your integrity. You may win the relationship, but you lose your peace. You may win the moment, but you lose your destiny. And this is why dark psychology is so dangerous. It works temporarily so people confuse results with righteousness. They think manipulation is intelligence. They think detachment is maturity. They think emotional coldness is strength. But let me tell you, God never called you to be emotionless. He called you to be emotionally governed. Dark psychology bypasses the mind and attacks the emotions. But the kingdom strengthens the mind so it can lead the emotions. Dark psychology produces control. The kingdom produces clarity. Dark psychology creates followers. The kingdom creates leaders. The reason so many are attracted to these tactics is simple. They do not want to be vulnerable again. They do not want to feel weakness again. They do not want to be the one who cares more. So they choose manipulation as a shield, not knowing the shield becomes a cage. Let me give you another principle. Whenever you use manipulation as protection, you are building your identity on trauma, not truth. And anything built on trauma will eventually collapse. Ask Samson. Ask Saul. Ask Judas. All three had access to divine destiny. All three collapsed because they tried to control people instead of controlling themselves. Manipulation is the refuge of the insecure. Dominion is the calling of the mature. One is driven by fear, the other by purpose. One seeks power externally, the other builds power internally. One leads to domination, the other leads to transformation. So hear this clearly. Dark psychology teaches you how to control people. Kingdom psychology teaches you how to control your spirit. And the one who governs his spirit has more power than the one who governs nations. That is what the Bible means when it says, better is he who rules his spirit than he who takes a city. Why? Because conquering a city changes geography, but conquering yourself changes destiny. So today we reject the counterfeit. We renounce manipulation. We refuse deception. We rise above the imitation the world calls power and embrace the original design God intended from the beginning: internal dominion, mental mastery, emotional discipline, and spiritual authority. Because dark psychology may impress the world, but kingdom mindset transforms it. My friends, now that we have exposed the counterfeit, let us rediscover the original. Because whenever the world counterfeits something, it is proof that God designed a real version of it. And emotional power, true emotional power, was never invented by psychologists, philosophers, or strategists. It was born in the mind of God, embedded into the nature of mankind, and revealed through the principles of the kingdom. Listen carefully. You were created with emotional power by divine design. Not to control others, but to govern yourself. Not to manipulate, but to mature. Not to suppress emotion, but to submit emotion to truth. When God created man, he gave him something. He gave to no other creature dominion. But dominion does not begin with the earth. Dominion begins with the self. Dominion is not first expressed in controlling weather, animals, or environments. Dominion is first expressed in controlling your own inner world. This is why I always teach: the first territory of leadership is the territory within. If you cannot manage your thoughts, you cannot manage your reactions. If you cannot manage your reactions, you cannot manage your decisions. If you cannot manage your decisions, you cannot manage your destiny. Leadership begins with self-government. And emotional authority begins with mental mastery. The kingdom is built on order: spirit, mind, emotions, actions, outcomes, destiny. This is the divine hierarchy of human function. Your spirit receives truth. Your mind processes truth. Your emotions respond to truth. Your decisions express truth. Your actions reinforce truth. Your destiny reflects truth. But what has the world done? They have inverted the order. They put emotions on top. They let feelings dictate decisions, and decisions dictate identity. That is why so many are unstable. That is why relationships collapse. That is why purpose is abandoned. Because when emotions lead, truth follows reluctantly. Hear this principle: emotions are wonderful servants, but destructive masters. God never intended emotions to rule. He intended emotions to respond. They were never meant to decide your life. They were meant to reflect your beliefs. This is why Scripture says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Not as he feels, not as he reacts, but as he thinks. The mind is the governor of emotion. And whoever controls the mind controls the emotional world that follows. This is why the kingdom mindset is so powerful, because kingdom thinking produces kingdom emotions. Kingdom emotions produce kingdom actions. And kingdom actions produce kingdom results. You see, dark psychology attempts to bypass the mind and attack the emotions directly. That is why it is unstable. But kingdom psychology strengthens the mind so the emotions obey truth. The world attacks feelings. The kingdom transforms thinking. Let me tell you why this is important. You cannot change your emotional life until you change your mental life. You cannot change reactions until you change beliefs. You cannot change feelings until you change thoughts. This is why Paul wrote, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Notice something. Transformation is not emotional. Transformation is mental. Emotions don't transform you, the mind does. Feelings don't produce stability, truth does. Dark psychology says, hide your emotions. Kingdom mindset says, govern your emotions. Dark psychology says, control people. Kingdom mindset says, control your spirit. Dark psychology says, think less, react faster. Kingdom mindset says, think deeper, respond wiser. This is the original design. God created you to live from the inside out, not the outside in. The world teaches you to react to stimulus. The kingdom teaches you to respond from identity. The world teaches you to imitate strength. The kingdom teaches you to become strength. And here is one of the most important principles you will ever learn about emotional power. Your emotions will always submit to the voice you trust the most. If your emotions trust your wounds, you will react from pain. If your emotions trust your fears, you will react from insecurity. But if your emotions trust your renewed mind, you will react from truth. This is why God never begins transformation by changing your circumstances. He begins by changing your thinking. Before he gives you victory, he renews your mind. Before he promotes you, he stabilizes your emotions. Before he enlarges your territory, he strengthens your internal government. Because the kingdom does not expand through emotional chaos, it expands through emotional clarity. Dominion is first internal, then external. So hear me. You were never created to live under the tyranny of emotion. You were never designed to be ruled by anxiety, fear, anger, offense, or insecurity. These emotions were meant to be indicators, not dictators. Signals, not masters. Servants, not kings. The kingdom mindset restores you to God's original order. It returns you to self-governance. It puts your emotions back under the authority of your renewed mind. And it restores the truth that real power, lasting power, eternal power begins with ruling your own spirit. Because the one who masters himself can master any environment. The one who governs his thoughts can govern any circumstance. The one who disciplines his emotions can fulfill any destiny. This is the kingdom. This is the original design. This is emotional power the way God intended it. My friends, now that we understand what dark psychology is, we must confront its consequence. Because everything the world offers you comes with a hidden price tag. And while dark psychology may look clever, while manipulation may seem effective, while emotional control over others may feel powerful, the truth is that the cost is far greater than the reward. Let me say something very clear, and may it settle in your spirit. Whenever you use emotional manipulation as a strategy, you are trading your destiny for temporary control. You may win the moment, but you lose your future. Dark psychology doesn't just harm others, it destroys you. It corrupts your character, weakens your integrity, fractures your identity, and ultimately sabotages the destiny God designed for your life. Because manipulation may give you access, but it robs you of authenticity. It may give you influence, but it steals your inner peace. It may give you compliance, but it takes away connection. It may win the argument, but it loses the relationship. This is why I want you to hear me deeply. Every manipulative tactic is a withdrawal from your destiny account. And one day, the account runs empty. Now, let me show you exactly what manipulation destroys according to kingdom principles. 1, emotional manipulation destroys integrity. Integrity is the alignment between who you are and what you do. Manipulation breaks that alignment. Every time you lie to influence someone, every time you pretend to feel something you don't, every time you coldly detach to gain power, every time you pull someone closer and push them away for control, you fracture your soul. Because integrity is not what you show people. Integrity is what you are when no one is watching. Dark psychology teaches you to create shadows, versions of yourself that are not true, masks that are not real, strategies that are not honest. But God only anoints the real you. He cannot bless the version of you that is built on manipulation. Hear this principle. What you build through deception, you must maintain through deception. And no one has the emotional energy to maintain lies forever. 2, emotional manipulation destroys identity. Dark psychology requires you to become someone you are not. You cannot manipulate consistently without slowly transforming into the manipulator. You pretend not to care until you stop caring. You pretend to be detached until you disconnect from yourself. You pretend to be unemotional until you can no longer feel. You pretend to be in control until you lose control of your spirit. Some people say, I use manipulation to protect myself. But they don't realize you become whatever you use. If you use fear, you become fearful. If you use guilt, you become guilty. If you use deception, you become deceived. This is why people who manipulate eventually lose themselves. They forget their value, their purpose, their design, their identity as a child of God. You cannot become who God created you to be while living in a false version of yourself. 3, emotional manipulation destroys peace. This is one of the greatest consequences. Manipulators do not sleep well. Manipulators do not love well. Manipulators do not trust well. Manipulators do not live well. Because manipulation produces anxiety. You are constantly afraid that someone will discover your strategy. Someone will outplay your tactic. Someone will leave your control. Someone will stop responding to your silence. Someone will stop being weak enough for you to influence. That is not power, that is slavery. You live in fear of losing the very thing you gained unrighteously. That is why I teach any power you must fight to keep is not kingdom power. Kingdom power sustains itself. 4, the biblical pattern of manipulations collapse. Let me give you examples from scripture, because the Bible is filled with people who tried to manipulate their way to power and ended up destroying themselves. Samson, his emotional blindness, his inability to control his desires became the weapon that destroyed his destiny. King Saul, his insecurity, his emotional instability drove him to paranoia, manipulation, and deceit until he lost the throne he was anointed for. Judas, he manipulated Jesus' ministry for personal gain, and the guilt of his deception consumed him. Each one lost not because of external enemies, but because of internal emotional mismanagement. Here is the principle. No one is destroyed from the outside. Every downfall begins inside. Manipulation is internal decay disguised as external success. 5, the ultimate cost. You lose the capacity to love and be loved. Let me touch something deep. Manipulation destroys relationships because it removes the foundation required for connection, trust. You cannot be loved for who you are if you never show who you are. You cannot receive genuine affection if everything you give is strategic. You cannot experience intimacy if everything is transactional. You cannot build covenant with people who are only responding to pressure instead of authenticity. Hear me. Manipulation does not create connection. It creates compliance, and compliance is not love. One day, the manipulator wakes up alone, surrounded by people who obey but do not love, who follow but do not trust, who stay but do not connect. That is the ultimate price. You gain control but lose communion. You gain obedience but lose relationship. You gain submission but lose affection. And that is a tragedy no tactic can fix. 6, the destiny principle. Let me conclude this section with a principle that can save your life. You cannot step into your divine destiny with manipulative habits. You cannot walk in your calling with deceptive strategies. You cannot carry purpose with an emotionally corrupted foundation. God promotes character, not tactics. God elevates truth, not deception. God trusts stability, not manipulation. Dark psychology may give you results, but the kingdom gives you destiny. And destiny is always better than results. My friends, now that we have exposed the cost, the internal destruction, the fractured identity, the ruined relationships, the stolen peace, we can now begin to build the alternative. The foundations of kingdom emotional authority, the real power that produces life, leadership, and legacy. My friends, now that we have exposed the cost of manipulation, we can begin to build the original structure God intended for your emotional life. Because God did not design you to live under the tyranny of your feelings. He designed you to live under the authority of your renewed mind. And today, I want to teach you the 7 laws of kingdom emotional authority, the 7 pillars that give you mastery over yourself and stability in your destiny. These laws are not suggestions. They are not motivational quotes. They are not psychological trends. These are kingdom principles, laws that govern emotional power the way gravity governs the physical world. When you understand them, you rise. When you violate them, you fall. So let us journey through these 7 laws together. Law 1, the law of identity. You cannot master your emotions until you know who you are. Everything in your life rises or falls on identity. In the kingdom, identity precedes feeling. Purpose precedes emotion. Truth precedes reaction. This is why I teach everywhere I go. The greatest source of emotional instability is identity confusion. When you don't know who you are, you depend on how people treat you to define your worth. When people praise you, you feel valuable. When people ignore you, you feel invisible. When people hurt you, you feel broken. But identity makes you stable. Identity anchors your emotions in truth. Identity says, I am who God says I am, not who people say I am. My emotions must adjust to my identity. My identity is not adjusted by my emotions. If you do not know who you are, your emotions will be constantly negotiating their value. But when identity is fixed, emotions obey. Law 2, the law of thought control. As a man thinketh, so is he. Your feelings are not first. Your thoughts are first. Emotions are the children of thoughts. Reactions are the grandchildren of meditations. If you want to change what you feel, you must change what you think. This is why the Bible never commands you to feel differently. It commands you to think differently. Set your mind. Renew your mind. Meditate on the word. Take every thought captive. God understands something psychologists are only now discovering. Your emotional life follows your mental life. Where the mind goes, the emotions go. So emotional authority begins with thought discipline. You cannot allow thoughts to wander freely. You cannot let your mind become a playground for fear, guilt, or comparison. Your thoughts must be governed because they are the architects of your emotional reality. Law 3, the law of truth over feeling. Feelings are reactions. Truth is foundation. Feelings change with weather, seasons, hormones, environments, schedules, and circumstances. Truth is eternal. Truth is fixed. Truth is immovable. When your emotions submit to truth, you gain control. When truth submits to emotions, you lose control. This is why kingdom people don't live by I feel. We live by it is written. Because feelings may scream, but truth speaks quietly. Feelings fluctuate, but truth remains. Feelings deceive, but truth delivers. The emotionally unstable person obeys feelings. The emotionally mature person obeys truth. The emotionally powerful person makes feelings bow to truth. Law 4, the law of internal governance. Before you lead others, you must govern yourself. This is one of the greatest kingdom principles Dr. Munroe taught. Leadership is not first the management of people, it is the management of self. Authority is not the ability to direct others, it is the ability to direct your own spirit. Let me give you a law of leadership. No one who cannot govern themselves can govern anything. When your emotions run wild, your leadership collapses. When your emotions dominate, your decisions deteriorate. When your emotions lead, your purpose suffers. Self-government is the foundation of all kingdom leadership. If you cannot control anger, you cannot control opportunities. If you cannot control fear, you cannot conquer challenges. If you cannot control offense, you cannot maintain relationships. Internal governance gives you the power to stand unmoved when everyone else is shaking. Law 5, the law of purpose-based response. Your purpose determines your reactions. Purpose is the standard by which kingdom people respond. Not wounds, not preferences, not feelings. Purpose. This law is powerful because it eliminates emotional impulsiveness. You do not respond based on how you feel. You respond based on who you are becoming. You respond based on the destiny you are called to fulfill. Purpose becomes your filter. Is this reaction consistent with my future? Does this decision reflect my calling? Will this emotion support my assignment or sabotage it? Hear this revelation. When you know where you're going, you stop reacting to where you've been. Purpose gives you emotional discipline. Purpose gives you emotional clarity. Purpose keeps you from wasting emotional energy on things beneath your destiny. Law 6, the law of emotional discernment. Not every emotion is a messenger from truth. Your feelings do not all come from the same source. Some come from truth, some from trauma, some from old patterns, some from insecurity, some from imagination, some from spiritual direction, some from spiritual opposition. Emotionally mature people can discern. Is this emotion from truth or from fear? Is this coming from God or from my wounds? Is this reaction spiritual or emotional? Because an emotion that screams act now is often the emotion you must not obey. Discernment gives you the wisdom to choose which emotions deserve expression and which deserve silence. Law 7, the law of consistent renewal. The mind must be trained daily. Your emotional life will never be stronger than your mental habits. If your mind is untrained, your emotions will be unstable. If your mind is undisciplined, your reactions will be unpredictable. If your mind is unrenewed, your destiny will be unfulfilled. Renewal is not a Sunday activity. It is a daily investment. Renewal requires repetition. Renewal requires meditation. Renewal requires reflection. Renewal requires truth exposure. Because the mind is like a field. Whatever you plant grows. Plant fear, reap panic. Plant comparison, reap insecurity. Plant truth, reap peace. Plant purpose, reap stability. Let me give you the final principle of this section. Emotional authority is not achieved accidentally. It is produced intentionally through daily mental renewal. My friends, these 7 laws form the architecture of kingdom emotional power. They are the foundation upon which all emotional mastery is built. If you apply them, your emotions will no longer sabotage your purpose. They will serve it. They will support it. They will follow the leadership of your renewed mind exactly as God intended. Now that we have laid this foundation, we can move to the next revelation, the direct confrontation between dark psychology and kingdom mindset, and why only one of them leads to true victory. My friends, now that we have established the foundations of kingdom emotional authority, it is time to confront the battlefield head on. Because in today's world, dark psychology is rising in popularity. People teach manipulation as a skill. They promote emotional detachment as a virtue. They celebrate coldness as strength. They call selfishness boundaries. They call emotional distance power. They call heartlessness confidence. And the tragedy is that millions are falling for it because it works temporarily, but it destroys eternally. So today, I want to take you through a point-by-point kingdom comparison. I will show you the difference between dark psychology and the mindset of the kingdom. I will expose their strategies, and I will reveal God's superior principles, because you cannot defeat what you do not understand. and you cannot understand what you do not compare. Revelation requires contrast. Let us examine them side by side. Asterisk, asterisk 1. Dark psychology says control others. The kingdom mindset says control yourself. Asterisk, asterisk. Dark psychology begins with external control. How can I make them feel what I want? How can I influence their emotions? How can I change their reactions? The kingdom says the fruit of the Spirit is self-control, not people control, not emotional manipulation, self-control. One strategy looks outward, the other inward. One produces domination, the other produces character. Let me give you a truth. The man who controls others is temporarily powerful. The man who controls himself is permanently unshakable. Asterisk, asterisk 2. Dark psychology teaches manipulation. The kingdom teaches wisdom. Asterisk, asterisk. Manipulation influences people through deceit. Wisdom influences people through truth. Manipulation hides intentions. Wisdom clarifies intentions. Manipulation creates followers through confusion. Wisdom inspires followers through understanding. Manipulation forces decisions. Wisdom guides decisions. One destroys trust. The other builds legacy. This is why scripture never says, get people under your influence. It says, in all you're getting, get understanding. Because understanding produces cooperation, not coercion. Asterisk, asterisk 3. Dark psychology uses silence as a weapon. The kingdom uses silence as discernment. Asterisk, asterisk. In dark psychology, silence is a tool to punish, to destabilize, to create fear, to generate anxiety. But in the kingdom, silence is not manipulation. Silence is meditation. Silence is listening. Silence is restraint. Silence is internal governance. Dark silence creates confusion in others. Kingdom silence creates clarity in you. One is designed to weaken someone else. The other strengthens your spirit. Hear this principle. The wise are silent to understand. The manipulator is silent to control. Same behavior, different motives, opposite consequences. Asterisk, asterisk 4. Dark psychology promotes emotional detachment. The kingdom promotes emotional management. Asterisk, asterisk. Dark psychology teaches you to feel nothing, to care about nothing, to detach from everything. But emotional detachment is not power, it is numbness. A numb heart cannot love, cannot trust, cannot connect, cannot heal. The kingdom does not ask you to kill your emotions. The kingdom asks you to govern your emotions. The emotionally detached person is cold. The emotionally disciplined person is stable. The detached person avoids connection to avoid pain. The disciplined person maintains connection through wisdom. Kingdom people do not escape emotions, they master them. Asterisk, asterisk 5. Dark psychology operates through confusion. The kingdom operates through light. Asterisk, asterisk. Confusion is a tactic. Ambiguity is a method. Mixed signals are a strategy. Inconsistency is intentional. Because confusion breeds dependency. And dependency gives manipulators power. But the kingdom says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Clarity is divine. Consistency is spiritual maturity. Predictability is godly leadership. Hear this. Where confusion is present, truth is absent. The kingdom never uses deception to create influence. God's authority flows through transparency, not trickery. Asterisk, asterisk 6. Dark psychology depends on external reactions. The kingdom depends on internal convictions. Asterisk, asterisk. Dark psychology needs others to respond. It needs you to react. It requires your emotions to surrender. The manipulator's power is only activated when someone else reacts. But kingdom emotional mastery is independent. It does not require external agreement. It does not need validation. It does not collapse under rejection. Kingdom authority comes from within, from conviction, from identity, from the spirit, from truth. Emotional power that depends on others is not power, it is addiction. But emotional power that flows from conviction is unstoppable. Asterisk, asterisk 7. Dark psychology uses emotions as weapons. The kingdom uses emotions as resources. Asterisk, asterisk. Dark psychology weaponizes emotion. It uses guilt to trap. It uses fear to bind. It uses withdrawal to manipulate. It uses anger to dominate. But in the kingdom, emotions are not weapons. They are indicators. They are signals. They are teachers. They are energies to be directed, not tools for control. Emotion is meant to serve purpose, not replace purpose. A kingdom-minded person feels deeply but leads wisely. They love without losing boundaries. They feel without losing control. They connect without losing direction. They do not hijack emotions, they harness them. Asterisk, asterisk 8. Dark psychology produces short-term results. The kingdom produces long-term transformation. Asterisk, asterisk. Manipulation works quickly. It gets compliance immediately. It gets reactions instantly. It gets attention rapidly. But everything gained through dark psychology is temporary. It collapses under pressure. It fails under truth. It dissolves under time. It disappears under conflict. But kingdom emotional mastery produces fruit, stability, peace, trust, influence, legacy. And fruit takes time. Fruit requires discipline. Fruit requires authenticity. Manipulation gives you control briefly. Kingdom authority gives you influence permanently. Asterisk, asterisk 9. Dark psychology is rooted in fear. The kingdom mindset is rooted in love. Asterisk, asterisk. This is the greatest difference. Manipulators fear rejection, fear abandonment, fear vulnerability, fear exposure, fear losing power, fear losing control. So they use dark tactics to protect themselves from imagined threats. But the kingdom operates through love. Love is fearless. Love is grounded. Love is truthful. Love is discerning. Love is courageous. Let me give you a principle. Fear drives manipulation. Love drives maturity. You cannot manipulate someone you truly love. And you cannot love someone you constantly manipulate. Kingdom people do not control others, they free them. My friends, these 9 contrasts reveal why dark psychology is fundamentally incompatible with destiny. It is the mindset of scarcity, insecurity, fear, and self-protection. But the kingdom mindset is the mindset of abundance, purpose, identity, and truth. Dark psychology produces temporary dominance. The kingdom mindset produces eternal greatness. Dark psychology makes you powerful for a moment. The kingdom makes you powerful for a lifetime. And now that you understand the distinction, we can move to the next revelation. How to transition from emotional manipulation to emotional maturity step by step. My friends, now that we have exposed dark psychology and contrasted it with the kingdom mindset, the next question becomes very simple and very serious. How do you break free from manipulation, even if you learned it, lived it, trusted it, or depended on it? Because some of you listening today did not discover manipulation. You inherited it. You absorbed it. You were trained in it. You used it for survival. You built relationships with it. You protected yourself through it. And now you are afraid that without those emotional tactics, you will be vulnerable, powerless, or unprotected. But hear me. You are safest when you are most truthful. You are strongest when you are most aligned with the kingdom. Manipulation is not protection, it is poison. And maturity is not weakness, it is authority. So today, I will give you the practical, actionable steps to transform from manipulation to maturity, kingdom maturity. Not theory, not philosophy, not vague ideas. Real steps, real discipline, real transformation. Let us begin. Step 1, acknowledge your patterns with honesty. Transformation begins with truth. You cannot fix what you refuse to admit. If you use guilt to get your way, acknowledge it. If you withdraw affection to punish, acknowledge it. If you give silent treatment to control, acknowledge it. If you pretend to not care so others chase you, acknowledge it. If you make people feel insecure to feel powerful, acknowledge it. Honesty is not condemnation. Honesty is liberation. The kingdom of God does not heal the person you pretend to be. It heals the person you are. You cannot be delivered from a lie you are still living. This is step number 1. Tell the truth to yourself. Step 2, identify the fear behind the behavior. Manipulation is never the root. Fear is. Fear of losing control. Fear of being abandoned. Fear of being rejected. Fear of being exposed. Fear of being hurt again. Fear of not being enough. Every manipulative behavior starts with a hidden fear. So you don't fix the manipulation by changing the tactic. You fix the manipulation by healing the fear. Ask yourself, what am I afraid will happen if I stop manipulating? What pain am I protecting myself from? What belief is driving this behavior? When you identify the fear, you disarm the tactic. You cannot uproot a tree until you locate the root. Step 3, replace manipulation with boundaries. This is important. Many people manipulate because they lack boundaries. They do not know how to say no. So they use indirect methods. Guilt, withdrawal, coldness, passive aggression, avoidance. Manipulation is immature. Boundaries are mature. Manipulation hides your truth. Boundaries express your truth. Manipulation forces others to adjust. Boundaries require you to adjust. Boundaries are not walls, they are responsibility. They are clarity. They are emotional order. A boundary is a mature person saying, this is where I end and where you begin. This is what I will allow and this is what I will not. Boundaries eliminate the need for manipulation. Step 4, develop emotional vocabulary. Hear this. Manipulators manipulate because they cannot articulate. If you cannot communicate your needs, you will manipulate to get them met. If you cannot express your pain, you will act out your pain. If you cannot verbalize your frustration, you will weaponize silence. If you cannot say, I feel hurt, you will create a scenario that makes the other person feel guilty. Emotional vocabulary is a kingdom skill because the kingdom operates through communication. God speaks and things change. You must learn to say, I feel insecure. I feel overwhelmed. I need reassurance. I feel afraid. I feel disconnected. I need time to process. These are the words of maturity. These words remove the need for manipulation. These words make relationships safe. Step 5, practice direct communication. Let me give you a principle that will transform your emotional life. Clarity is kindness. Ambiguity is cruelty. Manipulation thrives in vagueness. Immaturity thrives in assumption. Growth thrives in clarity. Practice saying exactly what you mean. Not hints, not signals, not games, not emotional riddles. Say it, state it, express it. You will feel uncomfortable at first because manipulation has become your comfort zone. But clarity destroys manipulation. And clarity invites maturity. Step 6, build tolerance for discomfort. This is one of the hardest steps. Manipulation is a comfort strategy. It allows you to avoid discomfort by controlling outcomes. But emotional maturity requires the ability to tolerate people not agreeing with you, people not chasing you, people not reacting how you want, people not giving you validation, people setting boundaries, people confronting your behavior. If you cannot sit with discomfort, you will return to manipulation. Hear this principle. Discomfort is the classroom of maturity. You grow through what you resist feeling. Step 7, submit your emotions to truth daily. This is the kingdom method. You cannot overcome manipulation with willpower. You overcome it with renewal. Every morning, align your emotions with truth. Every evening, evaluate your patterns. Throughout the day, check your motives. Ask yourself, is this response consistent with the truth of who I am? Is this reaction coming from fear or from purpose? Does this behavior honor the kingdom or sabotage it? You must bring your emotions under truth repeatedly until truth becomes instinct. You are not trying to be perfect. You are training your soul. You are disciplining your thoughts. You are strengthening your spirit. You are transforming your habits. Daily renewal is how manipulation dies. Daily truth is how maturity grows. The transformation principle. Let me close this section with a kingdom revelation that will set many of you free. You do not overcome manipulation by trying to be stronger. You overcome it by becoming truer. Manipulation dies when authenticity rises. Fear dies when identity rises. Control dies when faith rises. Gains die when purpose rises. You are not becoming emotional stone. You are becoming emotional steel, not cold, but controlled. Not heartless, but disciplined. Not manipulatively powerful, but truthfully unshakable. This is kingdom maturity. And now that you understand how to transform, we can move forward to the next part. How your emotional transformation impacts relationships, influence, leadership, and destiny. My friends, now that we have learned how to transform from manipulation to maturity, we must examine the harvest, because emotional mastery is not just for your personal peace. It is not only for your internal stability. It is for your relationships, your influence, your leadership, and ultimately your destiny. When you master your emotions, the world around you begins to change, because emotional maturity is not private, it is generational. It does not stay inside you, it flows from you. It shapes environments, stabilizes relationships, strengthens leadership, and positions you for the very assignment God has called you to fulfill. Let us explore what emotional mastery produces in the life of a kingdom person. 1, emotional mastery transforms relationships. Let me tell you something profound. Most relationships fail not because love was absent, but because emotional immaturity was present. Love is powerful, but emotional chaos suffocates it. Love is strong, but emotional instability exhausts it. Love is divine, but emotional manipulation corrupts it. When you master your emotions, your relationships experience 4 supernatural transformations. A, you become safe. People open up to emotionally stable people. They trust emotionally disciplined people. They feel secure around emotionally consistent people. When your emotions stop swinging, your relationship stops shaking. B, you communicate clearly. Miscommunication is the birthplace of conflict, but clarity is the birthplace of peace. When your emotions are regulated, you speak clearly, you listen attentively, you respond intentionally, you express yourself honestly. This creates emotional security and relational connection. C, you stop taking everything personally. Immature emotions interpret everything as attack. Mature emotions interpret everything with understanding. Suddenly, you don't react. You don't assume. You don't exaggerate. You don't internalize. You don't interpret through insecurity. Relationships flourish when interpretation is healthy. D, you bring stability to others. Emotionally mature people become anchors. They calm storms. They bring peace into chaos. They bring perspective into conflict. They bring truth into confusion. People feel strengthened just by being around you. This is the presence of emotional mastery. 2, emotional mastery elevates influence. Let me make a statement that will help you understand the psychology of greatness. People follow stability, not intensity. People trust consistency, not charisma. People respect restraint, not reaction. When you master your emotions, A, you gain authority without demanding it. True authority is internal. You don't have to shout. You don't have to force. You don't have to intimidate. You don't have to manipulate. Your presence becomes weighty. Your voice carries impact. Your silence becomes strategic. Your decisions become respected. B, you become unmanipulable. You cannot be controlled by what you have mastered. When your emotions are under discipline, flattery doesn't seduce you. Criticism doesn't break you. Pressure doesn't shake you. Conflict doesn't intimidate you. Rejection doesn't define you. This makes you spiritually and psychologically untouchable. C, you inspire confidence. People trust leaders who control themselves. They admire those who don't panic. They willingly follow those who stay centered under fire. Influence deepens when emotions stabilize. 3, emotional mastery builds leadership. Every great leader from scripture shared one trait: emotional mastery. David mastered fear. Joseph mastered betrayal. Daniel mastered pressure. Nehemiah mastered opposition. Paul mastered persecution. Jesus mastered sorrow. This is why they could lead nations, influence kings, and transform generations. Emotional mastery gives leaders 3 divine advantages. A, clear decision making. Emotional turbulence clouds judgment. Emotional stability clarifies direction. You cannot lead well when emotions rule. Emotion must serve, never govern the leader. B, crisis management. Leaders face storms others never see, but storms reveal emotional maturity. A leader who panics multiplies panic. A leader who is calm multiplies calm. Leadership requires presence, focus, and composure. C, integrity of character. Manipulation destroys leaders. Emotional mastery protects them. You don't compromise to please people. You don't react just to defend pride. You don't make decisions to feed insecurity. A leader with emotional maturity becomes a pillar in every environment. 4, emotional mastery activates destiny. Listen carefully now. Your destiny is too great to be carried by unstable emotions. Your calling is too heavy to rest on an unrenewed mind. Manipulation may get you to the palace, but only maturity can keep you there. David's emotional maturity made him king. Saul's emotional instability made him lose his crown. Joseph's emotional discipline elevated him. Samson's emotional recklessness destroyed him. Let me give you a destiny principle. Where God has taken you, emotional chaos cannot follow. Emotional mastery unlocks 4 dimensions of destiny. A, divine opportunities. God will not open doors you are too unstable to walk through. He waits for emotional maturity before he entrusts influence. B, spiritual sensitivity. A chaotic heart cannot hear a silent God. A noisy soul cannot discern divine whispers. Emotional mastery sharpens spiritual hearing. C, resilience in trials. Life will test you. People will fail you. Situations will stretch you. Emotional maturity makes you unbreakable. You become flexible, not fragile. Strong, not stubborn. Faithful, not fearful. D, legacy formation. Your legacy is not built on gifts. It is built on character. You don't pass down emotions. You pass down discipline. You pass down stability. You pass down wisdom. You pass down example. Your emotional mastery becomes a generational blessing. The culmination, hear this clearly, emotional mastery is not about becoming emotionless. It is about becoming emotionally aligned with truth. Emotion is not your enemy. Immaturity is. Feeling is not weakness. Reacting without thinking is. Sensitivity is not fragility. Impulsiveness is. When your emotions serve your spirit, you become powerful. When your emotions serve your purpose, you become effective. When your emotions serve the kingdom, you become unstoppable. My friends, emotional mastery makes you a better friend, a stronger partner, a wiser leader, a stable believer, a dependable influence, and a person God can trust with greatness. This is the fruit of transformation. This is the reward of renewal. This is the evidence of kingdom maturity. And with this understanding laid, we are ready for the final ascent, the conclusion and prophetic call to emotional mastery. My friends, we have walked a long journey together. We have exposed manipulation. We have unmasked dark psychology. We have confronted emotional instability. We have revealed kingdom principles. We have examined the foundations of emotional authority. We have discovered the fruits of emotional mastery. And now, as we close, I want to speak to your spirit, not just to your mind, not just to your emotions, to the part of you that responds to destiny. Because emotional mastery is not simply about mental strength. It is not merely about psychological balance. It is not about being calm, quiet, or composed. Emotional mastery is about becoming the person God originally designed you to be. The true you, the whole you, the renewed you, the kingdom you, the version of you that heaven recognizes. Let me tell you something powerful. Every single thing God has planned for your life is waiting for a mature version of you to rise. Not a manipulated version, not a fearful version, not a reactive version, not a wounded version, not an emotionally volatile version, but a renewed version, a disciplined version, a principled version, a steady version, a wise version, a purposeful version, a kingdom-aligned version. This is the version of you that cannot be shaken. This is the version of you that cannot be manipulated. This is the version of you that hell fears. This is the version of you that destiny requires. Hear the call of the kingdom. I came to tell you today, your emotions were never meant to be your master. They were created to be your servants. You were never designed to be hijacked by fear. You were designed to walk in faith. You were never created to be crippled by insecurity. You were created to live out identity. You were never meant to be led by impulses. You were meant to be governed by purpose. You were never intended to live in emotional chaos. You were called to carry emotional order, a reflection of heaven's order. Let me give you a revelation that you must never forget. The kingdom of God is not built on emotion. It is built on truth. And truth always reigns over feeling. If you want to rise in the kingdom, if you want to walk in purpose, if you want to steward influence, if you want to build legacy, if you want to fulfill destiny, you must master the realm within. Not the world around you, the world inside you. Because the internal world controls the external world. Your emotions build the atmosphere of your life. Your thoughts create the structure of your destiny. Your mindset shapes the doors God can trust you with. Hell doesn't fear your gifts, it fears your mind. The enemy is not intimidated by your talent. He is not concerned about your skill. He is not threatened by your charisma, but he trembles when your mind becomes renewed. He panics when your emotions become disciplined. He loses power when your soul comes under divine order, because a renewed mind cannot be deceived. A disciplined emotion cannot be manipulated. A stable spirit cannot be hijacked. A mature believer cannot be diverted. This is why emotional mastery is not optional. It is strategic. It is spiritual. It is kingdom warfare. You are being called to a higher level. This message is not meant to inspire you. It is meant to transform you. It is meant to elevate you. It is meant to challenge the old version of you and awaken the original design of God within you. Today, heaven is calling you to grow up mentally, rise up emotionally, strengthen your inner man, govern your soul, discipline your thoughts, renew your mind, align your actions, submit your emotions, protect your peace, walk in purpose, lead with authority, influence with integrity, fulfill your destiny, because you cannot enter a new season with an old emotional system. Your next dimension requires a new internal condition. The final declaration. So I declare over your life today, may your emotions bow to truth. May your reactions bow to wisdom. May your impulses bow to discipline. May your triggers bow to healing. May your fears bow to identity. May your wounds bow to purpose. May your insecurities bow to revelation. May your thoughts bow to the word of God. And may your entire internal world come under the government of the kingdom. Because once your mind is renewed, once your emotions are trained, once your responses are disciplined, once your spirit is anchored, life cannot shake you. People cannot break you. Dark psychology cannot manipulate you. Circumstances cannot intimidate you. And the enemy cannot stop you. You will walk with clarity. You will lead with strength. You will love with wisdom. You will stand with authority. You will rise with destiny. This is the prophetic call of emotional mastery. This is the journey toward wholeness. This is the path of the kingdom. This is the formation of true greatness. And I declare, this is the season you will master the world within, so you can conquer the world ahead.